This is BRICS Global Television Network's weekly roundup, and we start with the headlines. South Africa and India conclude elections with both governing parties losing their majority. China has set up $42 billion lending facility for affordable housing, aimed to address its property market's inventory surplus. And it's Comrades Marathon Weekend. The world's longest and oldest ultramarathon takes place on Sunday. Hello, I'm Juliet Newell. We start in India, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi is preparing to be sworn in on the 9th of June for a third term as Prime Minister. This follows a closely contested election in which more than 600,000 voters cast their ballots over a period of 6 weeks. Despite expectations of another landslide victory for his Hindu nationalist Bharatiya Janata Party, the election results have revealed a loss of majority, prompting swift coalition negotiations. The BJP, previously ruling independently for a decade, now forms a 15-member coalition called the National Democratic Alliance to secure governance. With 293 parliamentary seats, the alliance gains control of the 543-seat body. Analysts say Modi's re-election marks a shift towards coalition politics, necessitating consensus building for effective governance. The BJP must adapt its strategies in the face of this new political landscape. Meanwhile, in South Africa, a similar scenario presents itself as the governing party, the African National Congress, has also lost its majority in the recent elections. ANC senior members have been locked in talks at a hotel in Boksburg on Thursday to decide how to form a government of national unity, their preferred way forward. President Cyril Ramaphosa made light of the situation, addressing the media as he arrived at the venue.
What are you doing here? Are you that worried? Good to see you.
The ANC's revealed it's held talks with several parties, including the Democratic Alliance and the Inkatha Freedom Party. The Umkhonto weSizwe Party, a newcomer led by former President Jacob Zuma, managed to secure around 12% of the votes in these elections, but hasn't responded to the ANC's invitation to meet. Earlier this week, my colleague Ray White chatted to John Steenhuisen, the leader of the main opposition party, the Democratic Alliance, about the possibility of a coalition government and what that would mean for South Africa. The full interview is available on our website and YouTube channel. A new statue honouring Yevgeny Prigozhin, a pro-Kremlin mercenary known for leading the Wagner private militia, has been unveiled at his grave in St. Petersburg. Prigozhin, who staged a mutiny last June and died in a plane crash shortly after, was mourned by soldiers and supporters who laid flowers at the statue. Prigozhin, praised for his leadership but criticised for his actions, remains a controversial figure in Russia. His death, marked on what would have been his 63rd birthday, has sparked debate and speculation surrounding his legacy and the circumstance of his demise. In China, President Xi Jinping's declared youth unemployment a top priority, signalling potential reforms ahead of the upcoming third plenum. The youth unemployment rate remains high, reaching 14.7% in April, with millions of university graduates entering the job market each year. Analysts anticipate policy shifts to address this issue, including increased wage subsidies and work placements. However, long-term reforms are also needed to align graduate skills with employer demands. The current economic slowdown, exacerbated by the pandemic and sectoral crises, has led many to pursue further education or civil service exams for stability. And despite efforts to encourage job seeking, fierce competition persists, prompting many to lower their job expectations. Former US President and current White House hopeful Donald Trump has joined TikTok this week, the social media platform owned by China's ByteDance. Despite previously trying to ban TikTok over national security concerns, Trump's account quickly gained millions of followers.
The president is now on TikTok. It's my honor. Well done.
US President Joe Biden signed a bill in April aimed at banning TikTok if its Chinese owner ByteDance fails to sell the app within a year. The White House has cited security concerns for that decision. Coming up, BRICS Plus Business News.
Your passport to discovery. Whether you're a seasoned globetrotter or an armchair traveler, BGTN Discover promises to inspire your wanderlust and broaden your horizons. Pack your curiosity, sense of adventure, and open heart as we set forth on a voyage of a lifetime. Watch BGTN Discover on Starsat Channel 120 as we transport you to a new corner of the world. Get ready to explore, dream, and discover with BGTN Discover. Coming soon on BRICS Global Television.
I remember being in the stadium, going into the stadium, and there were kids outside asking for our autograph and things like that. And they really believed that we were these superhuman characters, that we just used the wheelchair to get around, hidden superpowers kind of thing. And the stadium in London was sold out every single day. I mean, for that, it I think was both for the athlete and for people around the world said, you know, this is actually something worth watching. This is something, you know, that's worthwhile. We can take note of it.
We begin in Brazil, where the economy's shown a modest growth of 0.8% in the first quarter of this year, rebounding from 2 consecutive quarters of nearly stagnant growth, fueled mainly by increased household spending. President Lula da Silva's emphasis on achieving robust growth appears to be bearing fruit, with household consumption rising by 1.5%, driven by a decline in unemployment. Agriculture also played a significant role, expanding by 11.3%, although it fell short of previous year's performance, declining by 3% compared to the same period in 2023. Notably, agricultural products like soybeans, corn, tobacco and cassava experienced a drop in production estimates. The service sector has seen growth of 1.4%, while the industrial sector contracted by 0.1%. And despite this growth, the Brazilian Institute of Geography and Statistics revised the GDP growth for the fourth quarter of 2023 downwards to a contraction of 0.1%, indicating ongoing economic challenges. China has ambitions to compete with the likes of Elon Musk's SpaceX and commercial space ventures. This follows the country's far side of the moon venture this week, highlighting the progress made in China's space exploration. Despite American frontrunners like SpaceX, the gap appears to be closing. Beijing recognizes the potential of a robust commercial sector to complement its existing capabilities. Analysts forecast parallels with the electric vehicle market, where Tesla initially led but now faces stiff competition from Chinese rivals like BYD. The Chinese government opened parts of the space sector to private investment in late 2014, resulting in the emergence of numerous companies. The recent launch of the Series 1 commercial rocket, which deployed 3 satellites, is just one of many planned launches this year. While SpaceX maintains a significant lead, China's commercial space industry is sizable and expanding rapidly, positioning itself competitively on the global stage. And SpaceX also has something to celebrate this week, as its Starship rocket achieved its first ever splashdown during a test flight on Thursday, marking a significant milestone for the prototype intended for potential Mars missions. Despite losing tiles and sustaining damage, the spacecraft successfully landed softly in the ocean after re-entering the atmosphere over the Indian Ocean near Australia. Elon Musk, CEO of SpaceX, praised the accomplishment on Twitter. The launch from Starbase in Boca Chica, Texas, saw the rocket enter orbit and traverse half the globe in around an hour and 5 minutes. Starship is pivotal to Musk's goal of colonizing Mars and NASA's Artemis program, which plans to use a modified version to transport astronauts to the moon's surface later this decade. The Gulf region's doubling down on its aviation industry with major investments in new airports and aircraft orders pouring in. The International Air Transport Association, IATA's annual meeting in Dubai has revealed billions of dollars are being injected into aviation infrastructure across the wealthy region. Middle East passenger traffic is expected to double in the next 2 decades, reaching 530 million passengers by 2043. Dubai is constructing an even larger facility that aims to accommodate up to 260 million passengers annually. Abu Dhabi and Qatar are also expanding their airports, while Saudi Arabia is investing heavily in air travel infrastructure, including a new air hub in Riyadh and the launch of Riyadh Air, a new airline with a sizable fleet on order. The Gulf's strategic location allows for easy access to a significant portion of the world's travelling population, driving growth in long-haul connections, particularly with Asia. China's set up a 300 billion yuan, that's roughly $42 billion lending facility for affordable housing. The country's recent stimulus efforts aim to address its property market's inventory surplus. The central banks established the lending facility to aid government-backed housing projects. The initiative encourages 21 banks to provide loans to local state-owned enterprises for buying unsold commercial properties. And ultimately, these unsold properties will be repurposed as affordable housing for either sale or rental purposes. Last week, Shanghai, Shenzhen and Guangzhou, 3 major cities in China, relaxed regulations regarding housing down payments and mortgages due to ongoing challenges in the housing sector. And the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum, described as the premier platform discussing global development issues, kicked off on June the 5th and will conclude on June the 8th. CGTN filed a report on the event. Take a look.
We're here at Expo Forum Exhibition Center in Russia's second largest city, St. Petersburg. We're here for the 27th St. Petersburg International Economic Forum. Well, it's my first time attending, so that's why I invited my colleague Aliosa to introduce me.
Hi, how are you doing?
I've heard that you've been reporting for this for over almost 10 years.
That's correct. And welcome to St. Petersburg. Is this your first time in Russia?
My first time in Russia.
Well, welcome. I think the weather you brought with you is really perfect.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful today.
Thank you for bringing nice weather here. Anyway, this is the most important forum for Russia. And it is not just about Russia. It is also about Russia's collaboration with many other world countries. It is the fact that Russian economy, Russian politicians would like to see more engagement with other international players in the world of the economy, in the world of the politics, and creating a multipolar world. And that's where Russia sees its niche to enter global market. And this is something that Russia is focusing on this year's forum.
So there is a session in about 15 minutes. It's drug security in BRICS countries. Do you want to check it out?
Absolutely, because as I mentioned, the BRICS is very important for Russians, very important for Russia, and most likely not just for the BRICS countries, because people from many other non-BRICS countries will be present here and listening. Oh, what is new in this area? What are the dangers which we have to address in our respective countries as well?
So we know that Russia has been currently facing multiple sanctions, 18,000 to be precise.
Yeah, that's correct.
So how is the country coping with all that economic pressure?
Economic pressure on Russia is, as you mentioned, huge, extensive. Many Western companies were forced to leave Russia. All Western car producers left Russia. And that created a huge void in the car market in this country. And that huge void was quickly filled by the Chinese car producers. We are next to Hongqi, for instance. It is the premium Chinese car brand. Let's not forget that Hongqi is this year's provider of car transportation for the entire forum. Yeah. And I think that we are coming very close to one very interesting stand, which is the stand of Alpha Bank. And they have very interesting logo. The best bank for business with China. China is apparently now Russia's window to the world. Russia is insisting on de-dollarization of its own economy and creating a multipolar world.
Today, Leos has shared with me many of his interesting observations after 9 years of reporting the forum, ranging from security to finance to automotive industry. So I truly learned a lot. And in the upcoming days, there's also going to be sub-forums regarding the de-dollarization and multilateralism.
Coming up, a roundup of this week's BRICS Plus sports news with Yolanda Pondo.
Coming soon on BRICS Global Television.
Now, can your program be copied overseas, or is it exclusively designed for South Africa's society?
So it can definitely be replicated. We've replicated it in businesses even, and we've used it in after-school programs that are not in school specifically. So we've already seen that it works in different contexts, and we'd love to take it overseas because obviously a few tweaks here and there, if needed, can be made. But the point is the basic model is something that anyone can use.
Only on BGTN.
I have no idea who this guy is. Absolutely no idea. He's not me. I am Ray White. This guy, is a deep fake.
So, as you can see, the BRICS nations have done very well with space exploration. Boldly going where no man has gone before. Gosh, it's lovely being in space, isn't it?
Catch me, Ray White, on Building Business One Brick at a Time, your BGTN business show that'll keep you in the know about what's happening in the world of business across BRICS, right here on BGTN.
Hello, I'm Yolanda Pondo with a roundup of this week's sports stories. Ethiopian distance runner Seleman Bariga is eyeing a consecutive Olympic gold at the Paris Games, but he acknowledges stiff competition from compatriots and Ugandan contenders. After clinching the 10,000 meters title at the 2021 Tokyo Olympics, the 24-year-old aims for a repeat success. Expressing determination, Bariga stated, "A man makes plans, but the final answer comes from God. I'm aiming to win a gold medal and replicate my success from the Tokyo Olympics." In Tokyo, he outpaced Cheptegei, the world record holder, and Kiplimo to secure victory. Despite winning bronze in Budapest last August, Bariga asserts his readiness for the Olympics, maintaining focus by avoiding other competitions. He notes the evolving landscape of long-distance running, with European and American athletes posing formidable challenges alongside Africans. Ethiopia's Olympic team coach Hussein Shibo says it's all about preparation, encompassing physical, mental, and tactical aspects. Another Olympic hopeful is South African climbing champion Lauren Mukaibe. The 22-year-old from Bryanston in Johannesburg has been climbing since the age of 9. She'll be representing South Africa in the Paris Olympics in August. BGTN sports correspondent Ben Rikotso has the story.
This is the place where South Africa's top climbers are produced, just like Lauren Mukaibe, who will be representing South Africa at the Paris Olympics in 2024.
Took a gap year, but funnily enough it actually turned into the COVID year, but I got the first 3 months of the year, so I went to the Seychelles. My parents said, why don't you go volunteer somewhere, and I managed to find a volunteer program and I absolutely loved it. Eye-opening trip. I dived twice a day for 3 months. So incredible, and that made me realize that I wanted to study marine biology. In primary school, we had to do every single sport that my school offered. And I didn't really find that one that I was super interested in until my bestie took me to a climbing gym and I just fell in love with it. With this sport now, its second time in the Olympics, it'll grow even bigger. So people will follow it more. And as this climbing community branches out and tells people about, you know, climbing in general, more people will come, more people attend, more people want to build gyms. And so I think it's just by word of mouth, it's by doing interviews, it's by introducing people to climbing, introducing people to high performance people as well, like trying to open up high performance facilities or, you know, something like that, just gaining exposure. I think that's the best way that climbing in South Africa is going to grow. I'm just there to enjoy the experience, have fun, climb hard. I really want to try literally the best that I can be. That's all people can ask of me, that's all I can ask of myself, is to climb as hard as I can climb and not match up to, you know, not try to compare myself to anyone else. And to be honest, the goal was to make it to the Olympics. Everything after the Olympics or during the Olympics is extra, it's a bonus. It doesn't feel real. I haven't seen, like, our kit hasn't been released yet to the athletes, and you know, I've booked flights and I've got accommodation and everything, but until I'm there, I'm not going to believe that it's real. I know I'm qualified, I know I'm going to the Olympics, I'm getting all the paperwork sorted, I'm getting visas, all the rest of it. But like, seeing is believing. I'm not believing it yet. It's an insane, insane achievement. You can expect me to have fun, climb hard, and just experience life to the fullest there. I don't expect a medal. I just want to have fun. I'm excited to meet my role models. I'm excited to climb against the best climbers in the world. I'm just excited to be there.
Ben Ricotso, BGTN, Johannesburg, South Africa.
Cristiano Ronaldo was visibly emotional as his team Al Nassr suffered defeat to Al Hilal in the Kings Cup final in Saudi Arabia. Despite his prolific scoring record in the Saudi Pro League, Ronaldo's side fell short in the shootout, extending his trophy drought in the country. The match, marred by 3 red cards, ended in a draw after Ayman Yaya's late goal for Al Nassr cancelled out Al Hilal's early strike. Al Hilal ultimately secured victory in the shootout, completing a domestic treble. Ronaldo, who joined Al Nassr last year, has yet to add significant silverware to his collection with the club. His lucrative contract expires at the end of next season. Sunil Chhetri has bid an emotional farewell to his international football career as he played his last match for India, drawing 0-0 against Kuwait in a World Cup qualifier in Kolkata. Nearly 59,000 fans attended, demonstrating the country's affection for the legendary striker who scored 94 goals for India, ranking him among the top international scorers alongside Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. Chhetri expressed gratitude to fans for their support over his 19-year career. Despite the emotional atmosphere, India couldn't secure a victory. Chetri's departure from the field was marked by tears and applause, acknowledging his immense contribution to Indian football. Coach Igor Stimas praised Chetri's leadership and dedication, highlighting his irreplaceable impact on the team. Chetri's career, mostly spent in India with brief stints abroad, leaves an indelible mark on Indian football history. I'll be back again on Monday with more BRICS Plus sports updates.
And finally, the Comrades Marathon's upon us, taking place this weekend in South Africa's province of KwaZulu-Natal. It's an up-run, so the marathon will begin in Durban with the finishing line 85.9 kilometers away in Pietermaritzburg. Comrades is the world's oldest and largest ultramarathon, with around 20,000 runners expected to take part this year, the 97th edition of the race. BGTN South African correspondent Lebo Masike has more.
The 97th Comrades Marathon will be the 49th up-run on Sunday, 9th of June, starting in Durban at 5:30 a.m. and ending 12 hours later in Pietermaritzburg. This year, just over 20,500 runners prepare to tackle the challenging 85.91 kilometer distance. There's absolutely no doubt that the 2024 Comrades Marathon is going to be one of the most exhilarating editions of the world-famous ultra-marathon. The marathon is not just a physical test, but a mental one. Each runner has their unique story on what drives them to endure this epic journey.
Well, that is the aim for Mutibi, and unless something drastic happens, you can't see him being thwarted.
My name is Edward Mutibi. I am a Comrade champion, winning 2019. My first run was 2018. That's when I first ran Comrade, and then I came fourth for the first time, and then the second one, that's when I won the Comrade.
To just lift your feet walking on it, but Edward Mutibi seems to have no problem negotiating it as he wins Comrades 2019.
Now I'm gonna have to go back and try and defend my title. So I'm looking forward to it.
For Edward Mutibi, of all those.
The 2019 male champion, Edward Mutibi, returns this year to defend his up-run title, with COVID-19 ensuring there were no races in 2020 and 2021. And 2022 and 2023 were both down runs.
To his teammates, Mutibi and Dijana head off down the road at express pace.
For many, the Comrades Marathon is more than just a race. It's a testament to human endurance, determination, and camaraderie. 2015 champion Gift Gelehe believes that he still has the stamina and Comrades experience to challenge for top honors.
It's a different ball this year. It's an up run. Tete is a good runner. I respect him. He's a two-time champion. He's a 50 kilometers world record holder. But up run is a different story.
But his teammate
Edward is a good runner.
He's
a defending champion for the up run. But let's go and see. He's my homeboy. We are from both Northwest. I respect Edward. I respect Tete. But let's go and see.
The Comrades Marathon is a celebration of human spirit and endurance, a marathon that continues to inspire people worldwide to push their limits and embrace the journey of self-discovery. Lebo Masike, BGTN, Johannesburg, South Africa.
And that's a wrap of this week's BRICS Plus News. We'll be back again on Monday with a roundup of the day's stories. In the meantime, you can check out our website and social media for daily updates.